You know him as the heartthrob Drake Parker on the Nickelodeon comedy Drake and Josh, and now he's here with new music from the Lost album. Welcome, Drake Bell.
Hey,
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, congrats on this record, man, because it's been a long time coming. I think you said 12 years.
Yeah, a very interesting story behind this album. I was working on some songs, writing some stuff at my house years ago, and recording some demos, and we were putting, pianos and guitars, vocals, but putting like fake drums, fake horns, and kind of just
having fun with
making these demos.
Yeah.
And to eventually, because that was a time before you could just like start streaming your own music or do things really independently the way that you can now. And so they were being prepared to like maybe shop to a label, and maybe because I just finished on the last label that I was on, so I was getting ready to shop around, and then the hard drive kind of went missing. Like I went through a move, and
that happens.
My buddy who I was working on them with, it just kind of like got stuck in a box, and then it was in a garage, and it rained, and then the boxes got all soaking wet and got water damaged.
I was just gonna say it went through the ringer. Yeah.
12 years later, I'm thinking, whatever happened to those songs? Because you can't even really remember how they went. Like if I was going to re-record them, I'd have to hear them and all
Whether
this.
you still wanted to put them on the album.
Yeah, and I still, I thought they were. I remember them being, cool songs, and so we dug through, everything and found the hard drive, and it was all waterlogged and all full of dirt and all this stuff, and couldn't plug it in or anything. And so we found a guy that repairs those things, was able to kind of bring it back to life, but still, not knowing whether or not the files were going to be recovered or what was going to be saved or what from them was going to be recovered.
Almost like a time capsule.
Exactly.
Like you didn't know what was going to be in it.
Yeah, it was a total time capsule. And so we plugged it in once he fixed it up and opened up our session, and everything was there.
Yes.
And so we were listening.
Stunned?
Oh, it was out of control. It was like I couldn't, and it was also like such a, it was so amazing to hear these songs that you haven't heard for. So it was like going back in time.
Totally.
Like put us like right back where we were when we were making those songs, and they were great. I mean, in our opinion, we were like, yeah, these are great songs. Like, something should happen with these. And so I said, let's go in and finish everything. Let's put real drums, real horns, finish up some of the guitar, all the instrumentation and vocals and everything. And so it's kind of half of the album was recorded 12 years ago, and half of the album was recorded this year.
And finished, yeah.
And finished. And so it's like putting this like whole thing back together. It's really amazing.
It gave you a name for a great album, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Lost album. I mean, because that's literally what it was. Yeah.
Awesome.
We were thinking like the Found album or the Lost album.
No,
Either
more
one
drama.
Is gonna,
More drama.
Yeah.
Do you feel like these songs still have the same meaning to you 12 years later? Because you're probably at a different place in life than you were 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Was that something you struggled with? Like, do these still apply to me?
No, I mean, they really did, actually. I was thinking about that, and I was wondering, like, if I'm going to go back and listen to these songs and go, oh, man, I mean, they were cool then, and, like, but they, I could write better songs now, let's do something, and no, they still resonated with me, and they still had they still had an impact, and also it's like, through an artist's, journey in their, career and releasing records, it's almost like the missing piece that my fans never got to get, I mean, I released an album called It's Only Time, and then it took quite a long time for me I started working on this album and other songs and everything, and my fans would hear parts of it on social media and so they would actually like take like those little clips and like put them together and make their own songs, give them their own titles and all that stuff.
They wanted it.
Yeah, and it was almost like this would have been the album to come after It's Only Time.
Totally.
And it's sort of like filling, like it's like having a timeline and like filling in that missing piece that fans were always going, what was supposed to come after this that we didn't get.
Yeah.
And then I started releasing all this other music, and it's almost like, putting it back in
the good
in
news
a timeline.
is they're getting it now, and you've always given your fans so much. Obviously, so many people still love you from Drake and Josh, and I know last year you were really outspoken about a reboot for the show. Are we any closer to making that happen?
I don't know. I mean, there was a time where we were talking about it and thinking that it would be, a lot of fun, and mostly just for selfish reasons, just because I would love to get back together with everyone who was involved in the show. It was so much fun. We're like a big family, so to get back together and work every day would be amazing. But then also, throughout touring, like I released a song called Fuego Lento.
Yeah, we love it.
That's,
Yeah.
It's a bop. Yeah.
So it's like I'm doing a lot of stuff in Spanish, and I'm touring all over the world, and so it's giving me the opportunity from traveling so much to really meet with fans and hear what and see the demographics of fans, and they're still super young. They're still people who are discovering the show for the first time, almost how The
That's so
Office,
special.
like The
Yeah.
Office is more popular now than when it was on, and it's sort of that, or Friends, for
Yeah, it
example.
takes on a new
It's
life.
a whole
Yeah.
new audience, and so to do the reboots, it's sort of, and the way that we wanted to do it, we wanted to do it a little bit more edgy, a little bit more adult, and
Hey, you can still do that.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but thinking about it, it kind of made me, when there's a 10-year-old kid coming up to me and going like, oh my gosh, I love your show, like, let's give it a little time
Sure.
before that 10-year-old has the ability to see like the adult version of what we're doing.
But
you
you're
know
still
what I mean?
hopeful for it? You'd be down?
I would
Any
be- I would be
conversations?
down.
Like, have you put a pitch together?
Well, I mean,
Talking to any networks?
No, I mean there was a little bit of talk last year, but I don't know. I think that the show is still, living on its own, and I just don't want to. I'd rather have the fans like make up in their brain what they would want the reunion to be, rather than ruin like a good thing or
Not yet, at least,
or have right now. Everyone loves the show. Everyone comes up, oh, it's my favorite show, it's my favorite show. I'm not really ready for someone to come up and be like, that's what you did for the reboot? Oh, come on, man. Why didn't you do this? Or it should have been like this, or you could have done this, or, it gives us the, it puts us in the realm of being able
get
to
it.
Sure.
disappoint fans.
Let it
when right
incubate a
now,
little bit so you
right
can
now
really-
fans
yeah.
love it. It's their childhood. It's, we're only hearing good things about the show. So,
Yeah.
leave the reboots up to like. Make it up in your mind, and so we can't ruin it.
I get it.
I don't want
Yeah.
to ruin a good thing, basically.
You've got a lot of dedicated Drake and Josh fans. Of course, there's the Amanda Show fans that
Yeah.
love you very, very much.
Yeah.
Amanda's been very present on Instagram recently. Are you following? Are you still in touch with her?
I haven't talked to Amanda in a few years. I'm not really in touch with her or anything. I mean, growing up with her, I mean, she's so incredibly talented.
Yeah, she's a force.
And, yeah, I mean, so, see, I mean, there it is. I mean, look how young we are.
Look
Look
at you
at that.
guys.
It's crazy. But yeah, it was great working with her because I was such a fan of all that. And so being able to, be on this show, I was like, oh my gosh, I get to work with this big star who's all this. And there's a lot that I learned from her too, just like her ability, her work ethic was incredible. I mean, she would do, the hours that she would work and have to change costumes and change characters and all this, and where most, people her age would be like, can I just go home? I'm
Right.
exhausted.
Like a
this
Lucille
is
Ball.
enough. Yeah, but
She's
she
so
was like
young.
Lucy, I mean, she
Yeah.
really was a force. So it's really cool to see her like, doing her thing and back out.
Well, Amanda has been so outspoken about mental health, and as have you, and you've really brought a positive awareness to it. I mean, is there a message you would want to share to Amanda, especially knowing what she's been through?
Oh no, I mean, she's doing her thing, and I don't think there's anything that there's no knowledge that I can pass on to her. I mean, she's like I said, she's someone that I've always looked up to, that I've always thought was incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I would just say keep doing your thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, she of course just went to fashion school, but if there is an interest,
That's something that she's
in her-
always been
passionate
amazing
about?
and passionate about. She would always be drawing these things, and it looked like Karl Lagerfeld drawings. And she was like 12 years old, and she's like designing these outfits like in the schoolroom when we're going to school on set.
Love
and
that.
I'm like, that looks like Karl Lagerfeld. Like, it's incredible.
I mean, if she wanted to dip her toe in the acting pool again, would you want to collaborate?
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. But honestly, I would be really excited to see a fashion line come out from her. Because like I said, from a very young age, that's something that she's always been naturally talented with. That's something that's just come naturally to her. Like I said, I mean, you see these things, and it's not like she's copying something. She was designing her own things, and it looked like, she could have been working for Chanel.
And
Well,
her
it's
first
incredible.
model. Her first model right
yeah,
here.
There we go. All right,
Speaking of model-
I'll wear the clothes.
Yeah.
Model
for sure.
Drake, dude, what's the secret behind these abs? Is what I'm trying to get to right here. Like, well, you look so
That's
fit.
next
so
level.
good.
Anyone can do it. It's really easy. You just,
You make it look easy.
If you have a 9-to-5 job, you quit that. You
Step
hire
one.
you hire a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And you don't drink any alcohol. You don't eat any food that you enjoy.
I will never.
Sounds really
forget that.
simple.
Yeah, anybody can do it. It's really easy, you know?
Oh, well,
yeah.
congrats.
Wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Nicely
and
done.
Work out 3 times a day.
I love
It's very
it.
easy.
Well, congratulations on the new record. You guys, the Lost album is streaming everywhere now. Take a listen. You'll love it. Drake Bell, thank you so
check
much.
it out.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much for having me.